The way I figure it, you're either going to get better after this or I'm going to have a corpse in my bathtub, Sangwoo says, pulling his hand away from Bum's forehead. He started sleeping in the bathtub 2 days ago. Sangwoo left him in the bathtub to make a call to work explaining he can't go today or tomorrow. And when he came back 5 minutes later, Bum was halfway to drowning because he fell asleep. When Sangwoo drained the water, he was too tired to move anywhere. Sangwoo rubbed the tub dry, dragged all of his extra blankets and cocooned Bum in the tub. He lives there now. The only upside to this ridiculousness is that Sangwoo actually got a full 8 hours of sleep last night. He's over the moon about it. He's sitting on the tile of his bathroom, trying to get Bum to drink soup. It's barely anything, just stock, but it's the only thing he can keep down now. Sucks. Bum mumbles. Yeah, it sure does. Sangwoo pushes Bum's hair out of his face. Only his arms and his face stick out of the bundle of blankets. Sangwoo leans back. There's no point where Bum isn't shivering anymore, and he looks ashen all the time. Aside from the 8 hours of sleep, Sangwoo's been near him the entire time. I'm tired, Bum whines. And you think I'm not? Sangwoo lifts the spoon and shoves it into Bum's mouth before he can twist out of the way. He feels Bum swallow. You know how hard it is to babysit you regularly? Sangwoo sighs. I'm sorry. Stop, he groans. He's tired of hearing Bum say the same 2 words over and over and over again. It's driving him up the fucking wall. I need to check in with work, he says. He can't be near him when he gets like this. When he comes back, Bum's asleep again. He doesn't do anything other than sleep and whine anymore. He's not fun anymore. Sangwoo sits down and crosses his arms on the rim of the tub, setting his head down. What am I supposed to do with you? He asks, poking a finger into Bum's cheek. He doesn't even budge. Is your brain fried already? Bum mumbles something in his sleep that Sangwoo can't hear. He lifts the blanket just to check and Bum's still wearing the same pink panties he put on him a few days ago. It's not like he can take them off himself. Sangwoo's fingers hang over the edge of them for a few seconds, deciding if it was worth the effort or not. He dips his fingers inside, rubbing the soft lacy fabric and the soft delicate skin. Bum shivers under his hand. Ticklish or feverish, Sangwoo can't tell. His hand trails lower, fingers bent to stretch the fabric. He stops when his fingers bump against pubes. The hair is coarse, unpleasant. He's overwhelmed with the desire to shave it off all of a sudden. He has shaving cream and a razor. Bum's too out of it to notice anyway, and even if he wasn't, he'd probably get off to it. Yeah. Fuck it. He grabs a razor and the shaving cream from the counter. He pushes the panties down along his legs, and then pours the lotion directly into the patch of hair. He rubs it in, ignores Bum's random noises, and watches the way the hairs swirl around. The razor is almost brand new, so he makes quick work of it. He cleans the razor in the sink and rubs the area with a towel. Better. Much better. Bum's cock sits there better now, and the skin is soft. Bum's eyes are open when he turns to look back at him. In terror again. Sangwoo pushes his fingers against the clean area now, watching his reaction. This is better, right? He asks. Bum shakes his head. He looks like he's on the verge of tears again. He breathes through his mouth and looks worried again. But when isn't he worried about something or other? You don't like it? He tilts his head. No, it's okay, just... He swallows nothing. Why didn't you ask? He wiggles a little bit under Sangwoo's hand. You said it was okay, so who cares if I asked or not, right? You would have said yes anyway, and besides... Sangwoo leans forward, pushing the remaining blankets out of the way. I like it like this a lot more. He tilts his head ever so slightly and spreads his hands out on Bum's pelvis. Oh, Bum says. Yeah, okay. He says and wiggles his hips. Another handy? Sangwoo asks. Would it make you feel better? Bum looks at his hand and then at him, and nods slowly. There you go. He laughs. The shaving cream still sits next to him, so he puts a little bit of it on his fingers. He rubs his palm flat against Bum's cock before grabbing it and jerking him in earnest. You're so predictable, Bum. I'm sorry, he says before gasping when Sangwoo dips his thumb into the slit of his cock. Can you do that again? His toes curl. Wow, you're amazing. I never get that much out of a girl. Bum's legs twitch. His hands tighten into fists. Oh, did I upset you? Are you jealous? Sangwoo asks. No, Sangwoo. It sounds like he is. Whatever. There's no need to actively upset him. He twists his hand and rubs the slit. It's good like fuck. He curses under his breath and Sangwoo laughs easily. He twists his hand again. You're so easy, Sangwoo says. He watches Bum's face, the way he bites his lip till it bleeds. Here, he says and squeezes his hand while he jerks him off. Bum's eyes open, lost between staring at the hand on his cock, or the hand on his hand, or Sangwoo's eyes. It's romantic, right? Bum comes with a jerk of his hips and a groan when he hits his leg against the rim. Sangwoo blinks with the realization that he has jizz on his face. Gross. Really, really, really fucking gross. He tries to ignore Bum's snicker, because when he looks back at him, he has his hands on his mouth. As long as he regrets it, it's alright. Sangwoo washes it off his face, rubs a towel against his face thoroughly. Sorry. Bum mumbles when Sangwoo comes back to pull his panties up and cover him in the blankets again. I don't believe you, he says. Bum pales even more, somehow. It's fine though, it's funny or something. He asks. Bum says, and Sangwoo's bored of the conversation. Right. I'm going out. You need anything? Whatever you need. Bum answers, and maybe it's the most coherent thing he's said in a while. Did the hand job actually make you feel better? He feels stupid for asking.
I feel good.
Pervert. Sangwoo was done with this conversation. He wets another towel, leaves it by Bum's bottle of water, readily in reach, and heads out the room.
Are you gonna be...
Bum calls before a coughing fit takes him. Sangwoo pulls on his boots before heading back to the doorway.
Long?
He hacks out. Maybe. With that, Sangwoo leaves. He finds another skeevy bar. He lives in a location with an abundance of them, custom tailored almost to someone like him. He sits at the bar and orders a tequila sunrise. In his defense, he really was just here for a drink, okay? It's not his fault when people come up to him and offer to buy him 2 more. What type of person would say no to that sort of thing? Honestly, he just wanted to get out of the house. The lingering smell of sickness was exhausting to be around for so long. He just wanted to clear his head. The guy, who looks foreign and has an English name, talks in almost fluent Korean. He's trying, at least.
What's your name?
Sangwoo asks again, over the blaring music.
Lucas.
The guy yells back. Sangwoo smiles at him and listens to him talk about his graduate program. After that, Sangwoo only hears every third word. Something something education, something something license, something something virgin, something something medical, something something.
Wait, you're a doctor?
He asks, getting closer to him, pressing his chest against the man's shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be, soon. This is my research program, yeah.
Hey, he knocks back his second sunrise and that one shakes him. He feels giddy all of a sudden. Hey, you wanna go to my place?
What, just like that?
Sangwoo gives him a big smile, throws a hand over his shoulder.
Why not?
His impulse control is abysmal. He chides himself because he's being dumb. But on the other hand, what type of student goes to that skivvy of a bar? And besides, people go missing all the time. Who cares? But really though, he needs to take a break after this. 3 in a week? That's just not good for his health. My roommate, he's pretty sick, Sangwoo says after he locks the gate behind him. Terrified of doctors though. You mind having a look at him? Before we, He winks because that's the type of shit that makes girls laugh. Lucas doesn't, but that's fine. He's in the bathroom, he says.
Sure.
Bum's asleep. Good. Probably for the better. No need to let him rile himself up. The guy kneels down next to him and presses his forehead against Bum's.
Jesus Christ.
I know, right? Sangwoo crosses his arms in the doorway. The bat leans against the wall behind him. He regards it.
How long has he been like this?
6 days.
Poor guy,
the guy says.
You've been feeding him fluids, right?
No, he spent the entire day vomiting, but other than that, yeah. The guy reaches down and thumbs at Bum's throat.
Nothing seems swollen,
he mumbles.
Should be fine, pretty soon. He's just sick and not, dying.
Right. I think he's just sick.
Probably, yeah. Can I wake him up?
If you can wake him up, Sangwoo says and goes to pull his boots off. He hears conversation through the wall. The rustling, shoving, and Bum's begging. Sangwoo picks up the bat on his way back and keeps it behind him. He's awake then.
He says you've kidnapped him.
Don't see how that's possible, considering he lives here. Fever delusions? Must be. Sangwoo gives Bum a smile and watches him physically deflate. Ask him whatever. He does. It takes him a few minutes until he pulls away from Bum and nods to himself.
Should be fine in a day or 2.
Perfect. Sangwoo smiles. You hear that, Bum? You'll be fine in a day or 2.
Right.
Bum mumbles and turns in on himself, pulling the blankets over his head.
Weird guy,
Lucas says.
For sure,
Sangwoo says and swings the bat at Lucas's skull. He goes down like a sack of potatoes with a loud crack. He needs a new bat. Hey, you feel alright? He asks.
Can't complain.
Bum mumbles before turning away from Sangwoo completely. You feel better, Sangwoo tells him, before changing his mind and walking over to Bum, leaning down and kissing his forehead. Hey, you feel better, okay? He says again. The blush on Bum's face makes him feel warm inside. He says before gasping when Sangwoo dips his thumb into the...
Does what? Does fucking what?